Hey guys, welcome to today's reading. I am so excited to bring you this topic and this spread that I've come up with. So let's go ahead and break it down before you choose your pile. So we are going to be looking at what makes you stand out in different areas of life, as well as just overall what makes you stand out as you show up in your world, in your inner world, that kind of thing. What makes you different? What makes you unique and attractive? So 3 distinct areas of life that I'm going to separate the reading into. We're going to look into what makes you stand out in your love and relationships, family, friendships, partnerships, that kind of thing. What makes you stand out in that aspect of life? The second aspect of life I'm going to be diving into is your career, your studies, your financial advancements, that kind of thing. What makes you stand out and how you show up in that aspect of your life? The third aspect I'm going to dive into is going to be dealing with personal development, personal growth and ascension, personal projects, spirituality, more of that inner world, things that you are working on below the surface. I want to look at what makes you stand out in regards to how you deal with all of that. Finally, at the end of the reading, I'm going to pull 2 final tarot cards, one of which will represent more of how others view you showing up in the world in your everyday, and the other is going to take a look at the opposite aspect, which is deep down within you, more of your inner world, what makes you stand out in that way, kind of like a rising sign versus moon sign type vibes for how you appear when you're more extroverted and how you appear inwardly. So I will give you some time to take a look at the 3 options here for piles. You may feel drawn to one or more piles, but that is completely fine. If you check the description, you will find the timestamp that will take you directly to the reading. I will wait to reveal the tarot card that is in front of us here today because it is a card that will represent some of the energy for how you stand out in the personal growth aspect that we will be looking into in your life. So these cards will be revealed at that time. But for now, just take some time to see what you feel drawn toward, and I will present the 3 piles for you today. So on the left-hand side, we have pile 1, which is the dragon. In the middle, we have pile 2, which is the cat. And on the right, we have pile 3, which is the elephant. So take some time and I will see you at your reading. Hey pile 1, welcome to your reading. I'm so happy you're here and I'm very, very excited to dig into this today. So I went ahead and pulled oracle cards to represent each aspect of your life that I reviewed in the introduction, which includes love, relationships, career, studies, and then personal growth and development. So let's go ahead and reveal the first section, which is going to be for love and relationships. I'm going to reveal those oracle that I already pulled, and then I will pull additional tarot to expand upon that. So for love and relationships, we have the heart. How perfect already. And then from a different deck here, 2 oracle as well, we have health and we have harmony. Very beautiful so far. It seems kind of like a fully realized, like full-bodied is coming to mind for some reason. Kind of a weird phrase, but like, I guess just trying to say that you are very fulfilled in this area of life, regardless of whether you have the traditional, traditional relationship or partnership, regardless of whether you have a traditional amount of friends or whatever it may be that we might view as like traditional ways to go about spreading love and connecting with others. It seems like regardless of how that is showing up in your life, you are quite fulfilled in this area as is. I'm not necessarily getting a strong message that, you're fulfilled because you do have a strong committed relationship, because you do have abundant friendships, because you do have a strong family bond. I'm just getting that regardless of what it is you have in front of you in this aspect of love and relationship, it is fully realized, fully embodied, just fulfilled, like overall like wholesome, fully embodying encompassing you with the heart. It just feels like you are quite in alignment in this area with health and harmony as well. Things are quite balanced. Things are not, you're not letting this hold more weight in your life than it should be. Like it is, you don't view it as like the one thing you have going for you, if that makes sense. So I want to pull some tarot. I think I'm going to pull about 3 tarot cards here for pile 1. Can we expand upon this area of love and relationship? Oh wow. We have the 10 of Pentacles. Again, with just full-bodied, fully fulfilled, satisfied with the 10 of Cups. Can we get a few more for pile 1 to signify how they stand out with love and relationships? We have Justice. Okay. Can we get another card here for pile 1, love and relationships? How are they standing out? Okay. Here's my final card. The Magician. Yeah, so you were really able to work with what you have is what I'm seeing here with the Magician. The Magician is pictured with, he has a pentacle, a cup, a sword, and then a wand. It's like he's embodying all 4 suits of the traditional tarot, the minor arcana here. So the Magician represents already having the tools, already having what you need to move forward, create abundance, and the ability to transform what is in front of you to more than just what meets the eye, more than the face value of what you see here. With Justice as well, having a very balanced approach, again, with what the message I had of that you don't let your love and relationships, the fulfillment you have in that, you don't let that overshadow other aspects of your life, is a very beautiful thing here with Justice. It's like you are in control of, if a relationship were to, you know, start to kind of fade away or be less prominent in your life, you are able to balance the energy that has left and fulfill yourself in other, again, with just being full-bodied. It's like no matter what is leaving, stuff is coming in right away here with harmony to fulfill that again. I see that, like, these birds, the imagery I'm getting is letting me know that it's kind of like if you were a magnet. This is kind of a weird analogy, but if you were like a giant magnet and you're covered in other things that are attracted, another magnet connects to you, you're like covered in that. Again, you're fully realized, you're fully embodied with love, harmony, healthy relationships surrounding you. If one of those magnets were to be plucked away, I see here with the imagery of the birds that like something would go right back in to fill in that lack or that blank space that was created from something leaving, which ties into what I was feeling with how if a friendship were to start to fade or naturally it's just not as appropriate as you both are progressing in life and things change, that kind of thing, it's like you are not worried about your cup is always maintained. Your cup is always fulfilled, and you always find a way to fill in those blank spaces, no matter how large or small they may be. You are so attractive in that something like that is not going to get you down for long, and it is not going to diminish your energy. You are very, very healthy in your relationships. Here, she's being cared for, her cup is being filled, she is constantly being poured into. What's happening here? Is she being fed? Yeah, like she's constantly being poured into through her relationships, yet it is not in a way that she is completely reliant on having these fulfilling, abundant relationships. having such prominent, strong, healthy, harmonious, loving, positive energy in your life, with the signs depicted in both these cards shining so prominently and brightly, as well as right after each other with card number 6 and card number 7. Constantly being re-fulfilled, like a waitress coming around to your table and your cup is always filled. Your cup is always being topped off with water or I don't know, whatever other beverage you enjoy is constantly being poured back into, which is making me really smile right now for some reason, but that's just really cool. It's like the never ending well. Yeah. Let's see with the heart here what we have going on with the imagery. Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah, cool. Beautiful so far. I'm gonna pull oracle cards for the next aspect of life. So far we are off to an amazing start. So with career and studies, let's go ahead and dive into that. I'm going to just kind of move these over to the side a bit. And I can't forget to pull that one at the end here. Okay, so career and studies, this oracle card, the Unseen. And the 2 additional oracle we pulled, we have riches and discrimination. Very appropriate to have riches associated with career studies, this financial aspect that we are diving into. Discrimination and the unseen. Let's see. I'm gonna pull some tarot to elaborate. The Lovers. I get a few more tarot for career, finances, studies, aspect of life for pile 1. The Star. And one more. The 9 of Swords. So with the Lovers as well as with the Star, this feels like something very divinely supported, with the Unseen as well, with the Oracle at the top here. It feels like an aspect of your life that is divinely supported, and it could be something that you struggle to bring in, this feeling of such support and abundance within the love life that we pulled. It feels like maybe you struggle to translate that into career, studies, finances, material success, and abundance with the Unseen, and with this aspect coming through of how it is a divinely supported aspect of your life. The advancements you are making with the Lovers, the Star, riches as well. It feels like even that you just don't, it could never be as fulfilling for you as this love and relationships aspect of life that we looked into at the beginning here. It could never hold as much weight or value in your life, the advancements and the success that you are making. And so maybe you just have, with discrimination, maybe you don't really acknowledge the divine aspect of what is happening for you in terms of advancement, because it's just not like, it isn't at the forefront of your concern or your value. You could be someone who just, I want to say, like, you don't care about working, you don't care about advancing if it isn't a career that, you know, and I don't really feel that you are in a career field where you You know, it's not like this is something you had always been called to do, or you have this passion. You've been inspired your whole life to help others by becoming a doctor, you love animals, you want to become a veterinarian, like whatever it may be. It doesn't feel like maybe the career that you've landed in the past or that you are currently in is one that you like specifically sought after because of the fulfillment it could provide you. And I think that the message here is that there could be aspects of what it is you are doing that if you tap into them and pull it out of just what you see at face value in regards to the work you do, what you complete, and the successful leaps you are making and the successful outcomes you are achieving, the financial stability that you are achieving, it feels like there could be a way to kind of bring some more inspiration into this aspect of your life. And I think in regarding to the way that you stand out in this area, it could just be the fact that like with discrimination, maybe you kind of stand out because others view you in a light of you aren't really as concerned. You will not allow yourself to get worked up with 9 of Swords here, to stay up all night, to be worried about small details that happen throughout the day, or, you know, upcoming deadlines, that kind of thing. You stand out because you don't. It's like if a coworker were to come up to you and be like, man, I'm just so stressed out about this deadline, like, whoo, and they're kind of taken aback by how chill you seem about it, and it's because you just don't really care. Like you don't see why it's important. I don't know, this kind of gives me vibes of like, I'm Gen Z, but like, you know how people say like Gen Z, like we just don't want to work, like we don't care about working, like whatever. I think a lot of us just feel like it's very trivial, a lot of the work that's out there, especially if we talk about like corporate girlies, like that kind of thing. It's like maybe you're just in a job where you're like, I don't really care, like this is stupid. Which is kind of funny and iconic. But I mean, you're getting your work done, you're just not allowing yourself to feel worried about. You're just not worried. You're secure. You know that with the divine kind of the way that the divine is supporting you in it is so that you can continue in the job and you can be satisfied and fulfilled through it. And even you could begin to start to feel a little bit more inspired. If you look at things a little bit differently, it could be worthwhile to implement a little bit more drive and passion toward what you're doing. And you could just be kind of surprised at how the level of fulfillment that you could achieve from what you're doing. Getting creative with it, if you dive into aspects of, you know, being like a strong communicator, being a strong leader within your company, within wherever you work, diving into aspects that are more significant and individualized to you and bringing out strong personality traits within you rather than trying to find fulfillment through the outcome, whether your customers are satisfied, whatever it may be. This is telling you that you can stand out. You are already standing out for your level of chill and not getting worked up about things, but if you can tap into, you know what, like maybe it's not lame to like practice being a leader or practice my communication, you could find some more fulfillment within this career if you focus on personal inward aspects and view it as an opportunity to grow yourself personally rather than to be a working body for the company. Yeah, I mean, not a big deal, but this is just kind of hinting toward you could pull a little bit more fulfillment out of this if you so choose to see things in a different light and to go at things with a different goal, which is more personal for you and your own personal growth. Yeah. For our last group here, we are going to go ahead and dive into what makes you stand out for your personal development, personal growth, ascension, spirituality. I'm going to pull here, we have the thread. Okay. Escape and flirtation. The first message I felt when I saw the thread card, the imagery here, the rainbow is upside down up top. The thread he is pulling is attached to the rainbow, and through some specific maneuver, the way you pull it down and bring it into your hands is what flips it into a right side up rainbow. With escape and flirtation as well, in regards to what makes you stand out for personal development, I think that you are able to see things from a glass half full perspective, kind of tying into what made you stood out in love and relationships, how your cup is constantly being refilled. I see with the imagery here that you have this ability within you to, you just have this kind of magic touch. It's like if a ton of other people had lined up to try and pull this rainbow down into its appropriate position and reset it, they would have failed. When you step up to the plate, you do some like specific maneuver and it just works. Like this rainbow is reset and you're like, you're welcome. Flirtation as well is giving me the idea of like, you know, those type of people who seem to just be able to walk up to anyone and make a fun, light conversation, make them feel good, compliment them, whatever it is. Like those people who don't have any social anxiety and can just go up to anyone and connect, or at least make them feel good. I feel like that's a power that you definitely hold. Like you seem just like such a bright, the star, like I don't know, you just seem so unapologetic and really just like a light walking through life. Your ability to see things from a glass half full perspective, as well as to pour into other people's cups as well. You naturally, here tying back to career and studies, with the star card, talking about pouring into other people's cups and how this comes naturally to you, I see that you do this in career, and the outcome of it seems redundant to you, seems like you aren't seeing the impact like you do if you were to go ahead and fill someone else's cup. That you come, whether you know them or not, whether they're a stranger, you feel so good when you're able to pour into someone else's cup, even if it's a complete stranger. Rather than here, again, it is something you naturally do. You are pouring into your company, into achievement there, but with the way it's just going into the ground and feeding back into a pool of all the same things, it's like the impact of you pouring into another cup in career and job related things, it seems kind of fruitless. It seems like you're just one more drop in the ocean in that aspect, rather than here it feels like you really make an impact in just going about your daily life and spreading your joy and making others feel good. Escape could be you actively choosing to take this mindset throughout your life. This could be something that didn't always naturally come to you and something that you learn to embody here with the meditation going on here. It is something that you came to practice and that became a means to escape an old way of life, to escape the thinking of a half glass empty. Like this is you making some change in your life. Yeah, flipping this perspective from glass half empty to pulling the rainbow down, putting it right side up, and it's glass half full. You know, you really have made a change in your life that means all the difference for your general fulfillment, the things you find joy in, finding joy in the small things, and uplifting others, all of that. This is really beautiful for your personal world, for your overall connecting with others, no matter the significance in your life they hold, whether they're someone you've known for a long time or a complete stranger. Your ability to uplift yourself and others and spread positivity is coming through here very strongly. Let's end this section with revealing 3 tarot. So I'm going to pull the card that you chose for the pile that you were drawn to, and this will relate to this personal growth aspect. Queen of Wands. Yes. The sunflower really stands out to me as optimism, that strong personality trait that you have that is coming through. Let's pull a few more tarot to expand for pile 1 on what makes them stand out in their personal growth, personal development. A few more cards for pile 1. Yes! So perfect. The 6 of Pentacles, which is about generosity. It can be about giving and receiving, but here it is a strong message of giving, and that is exactly what you are doing every day. You are filling other people's cups and giving to them. This is so perfect. A final tarot card to pull for pile 1, how they stand out in their personal life. Final card to expand upon what we've picked up on so far. There it is. The Tower. Yes, flipping perspective. Again, very, very strong message I see with that, of taking something that was negative, not necessarily that something is coming through as a destructive energy or a very impactful, abrupt, changing energy. Not necessarily that that is coming your way, but again, just a way to visualize what I depicted here, which is how you turn something, flip it on its head, and make it a good thing. With the Tower, with things falling, with destruction, with them being upside down and falling, you're going to land right side up on your feet, and you're going to go through and pick out the best parts from the rubble, take it with you, and start new. You're going to see nothing but what was saved and what you still have after this event, this hypothetical event that is being, the Tower card is showing us again how you flip it and reverse the energy of negative, so-called negative things, always at that glass half full. Wow, guys, this is really, really nice. Refreshing to see. So the final cards I will pull for your spread today is going to be 2 tarot cards from a different deck. The first one I want to pull is going to represent your most prominent energy outwardly in an extroverted sense that others pick up on. How do other people see you as, like, this is how you show up in their eyes. Page of Pentacles. And then the final card for today's spread is going to be how your most prominent inward energy. I think that it will be very similar to how you present outwardly. Yes, the 6 of Wands, guys. And it's like, you know it, you know that this is what makes you stand out. You know, it's not like you're one of those people who you actively need to work around your perspective on the outcomes you face. It is something that you feel strong in doing. With Six of Wands, it isn't like a facade that you're like fake it till you make it, or it's not like that. Put on a happy face. Like, no, this is really something that naturally radiates from within you, and this is such a strong energy to have within yourself. You are so confident in your inner Queen of Wands. The fire is eternal. The fire is within you, and that's where it arises from. And you are your own biggest fan. Like, you are proud of yourself. You are confident. Yes, so beautiful. Page of Pentacles could be someone who you take things lightly, specifically in regards to what came out for the career and studies section with Page of Pentacles. This feels like holding something in your hands, the pentacle there, that isn't necessarily something super fulfilling for you, but others view you regardless as having access to this, as having a strong potential for financial career success with the natural temperament that you carry and the optimism you have. They feel like you can really go places with this, go big places with Page of Pentacles. And you definitely could, but the way that she's just kind of holding it is like, not like stagnant, but I think it might be an opportunity that you are not afraid to let sit on the back burner for a while, because you are so fulfilled and focused on, I want to say for you specifically, that you are focused on the right things, which is nurturing yourself and others, and allowing this energy of confidence and being a natural leader and being someone who spreads their light and fire. It feels right that you are more so focused on that at this time. Yes. Yeah. Pile 1, this was a really cool reading. I love doing this spread for you. I hope it wasn't confusing. It looks a little bit crazy as I'm looking at the viewfinder, but I love doing it. It was so fun, and I hope that things resonated with you. Leave me a comment, leave a like if it did, and I'll be happy to connect with you. But otherwise, I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you in your next reading. Hey Pile 2, welcome to your reading. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. We've got a lot to cover with today's reading. We're going to start by looking at the oracle that I went ahead and drew already for 3 aspects of life. We will start with love and relationships. So I wanted to pull 1 card from this specific deck, and that's what I've been doing for this reading, but 2 ended up coming out for this first one, so I went ahead and honored that. So let me show you the 2 cards from this deck. One of them is kind of an extra. So we have the Temple and we have the Bridge. And then 2 Oracle from a different deck. Health and Fortune. Wow. So first off, I saw this one when it came out. It was the second card that came out for you that I didn't really intend multiple to come out, but it did, and I saw it, and it felt so right before I saw any of the other cards. So I see in regards to love and relationships that you could be a quite balanced individual. You could have very healthy ideals, healthy values, healthy ways of going about your relationships. And this makes it as such that your connection with others is so effortless with the Bridge, and with how one or the other or both here are bridging this gap is the phrase that came to mind immediately, is bridging the gap, effortlessly reaching out to others who need it. It's like I see more so that you are this hand bringing something out into someone who is receiving it with their hand open. Like you are sharing something, you naturally bridge the gap between people. I also saw that kind of like the same imagery with the temple, with the triangle it's creating. It's like the path of the energy that you so effortlessly share with others. And that energy is one that is uplifting, that is immediately comforting. Like evidently you are a comforting presence for others, and you naturally know how to invite others in and connect with them. It's like you were that person who would go see, someone sitting alone in the lunchroom, and you were the person to extend a welcome greeting to them or an offering to them to, hey, you are completely welcome and you are going to come join my table, because yes, you just naturally have this way about you of connecting with people and uplifting them and just being so effortless in how you connect with others. You could be a very bubbly personality, or otherwise you could just be someone who is so calm, content, balanced, that energy is so emanating off of you. It's how you stand out totally, is just the presence you have. You could be one of those people who animals are naturally drawn to just because of your aura, because of the energy that you exude. You are an open person, you are an open channel, and it is so easy for you to extend an offering hand to someone and bridge that gap and connect. With health and fortune came through, signifying that your relationships, your way of going about them is extremely healthy and fortunate for others. Really, it's not a message of charity coming through, but it's others feel extremely fortunate to have been graced with your presence, or with your to have been offered anything from you, even if it's a smile, if it's a simple hello, whatever it may be. People feel so fortunate to have been bathed within your energy, within your light, and to feel completely uplifted through you. Yes, extremely healthy relationship with others and with going about relationships that I'm seeing for you here. We need to pull some tarot to expand upon this, so I'd like to pull about 3 tarot cards here for pile 1 to represent what makes them stand out in love and relationships, connections, in general, connecting with others. Okay, here's one. The 2 of Wands. For pile 2, what makes them stand out? The Death card. Yeah. Okay, and one more. The Queen of Wands. Wow, guys. So 2 of Wands and Death, I felt again is kind of the strong message I'm feeling of bridging the gap. The 2 of Wands is about first kind of opening yourself up to new possibilities, or first starting to kind of plan or think on new ways to go about an adventure, or just a new path you can take. The 2 of Wands can represent that, is kind of that first inkling of maybe I should take this in this direction. You're looking at the globe here, you're just kind of reviewing your options before any action is taken. You're looking out at what's in front of you and seeing everything for what it is, and determining what would be your best path. And then I see with the Death card, this can be about your ability I haven't really seen this stand out. Is that a person in the yellow? Yeah. So this feels like, and this person is coming from the side where the sun is rising or setting in the background. They're coming and offering light to death, which could be traditionally viewed in a negative aspect, or yeah, it's like, again, with facing something and reviewing it, and you were not afraid to even offer a welcoming hand out to this death figure, which isn't a bad thing. Traditionally, the meaning of the death card in tarot isn't traditionally bad. It just represents renewal, change, regeneration, that kind of thing. All beautiful things. And again, with how you see what's in front of you and review it and see how you can work best with it, what would be the most appropriate path. It's like you see something that brings to light a darker aspect or a more challenging aspect of needing to change, of needing to take a new avenue, of becoming someone new. It's, you see that, which can be scary, and you're not scared by it either. You are that person who befriends the outcast, who befriends the monster who has a bad name for no reason, who has a bad reputation. It's like you are not letting anyone be the deciding factor toward how you view others, other than your own judgment and making your own analysis. And it's not even about that. It's not even about like cracking the code to people or determining right versus wrong. It's just about the willingness you have to give anyone an opportunity to present themselves in front of you, their authentic, vulnerable self. And you naturally are so welcoming and accepting of that with the way that he is coming from this side of light to extend an offering or to receive even. You're open to receiving lessons from others as well. These people down here are not, and you can see that they're not doing well. You know, I think this is really cool, the way that you will take anything into consideration. Like, nothing is not worthwhile for you to at least attempt to connect with. You are extremely open with connecting to others, and it might even be something that drives you and inspires you. You could have a passion to like help less privileged communities, or just to be a strong advocate in that sense as well. You're someone who isn't afraid to get down and dirty, I want to say, with people who could have a bad name or a bad reputation, whatever it is. Always keeping yourself safe, but you're willing to, I want to say, go down to the level of others. You're willing to abandon fortunes that you have. You're willing to really immerse yourself in the experience of others, even if that is uncomfortable for you, or the idea of it could be uncomfortable to you. It's something, regardless, that you are open to. You're a very open, vibrant being. And with Queen of Wands as well, this is speaking of the fortune you hold in this area, with the vibrancy that you hold in this area, the boldness you have toward approaching others, toward inviting anyone into your circle, not based on any prerequisite or any preconceived notions of who they are, their past, whatever it is. You never let that affect who you deem worthy to connect with. Yeah, this is really, really beautiful. You just being that bridge, and wow, chills right here. This is so cool to see for how you stand out in regards to connecting with others, in regard to personal relationships and connections. So let's go ahead and move on here to the next aspect of life, which is going to be looking into what makes you stand out in your career, studies, financial abundance, matters of the physical, material realm. Here is your oracle card. We have the Mystic. I think it's really cool. Pile 1, the oracle they had an imagery, strong imagery of an eye, as well as they did have the health card come out in their relationship section. So if you do feel called at all to check out Pile 1, there are valuable messages for you there too. Next up, for career and studies, what makes you stand out? Revenge and practicality. Okay, I'm gonna pull tarot right away to expand on this. I think I need some more information. So can we expand on these energies for pile 2, how they stand out in career and studies? About 3 tarot cards to represent. We have the 3 of Pentacles. Okay. The Knight of Swords. So I'm getting an idea here. I'm going to pull one more. Final card to represent what makes pile 2 stand out in career and studies. Okay. The Queen of Pentacles. So I see here, in regards to how you show up in your career, essentially, whatever it is that requires you to work toward a concrete goal with others, regardless of how directly impactful this is to your success, but maybe this is you working with others to further a company, whatever it is that you're working on. It might not have a direct tie to your own sense of fulfillment or achievement. What you are working toward is a greater goal with others. And I see jumping out at me with the Mystic and with Revenge that others might feel more driven with the goal of beating out the competition, of being perfect in the outcome of what it is you have worked together to complete. And they might take things to a matter of extremes in that. And they could recognize you for your strong qualities of being a really open and perceptive person to others. So they might even, with Revenge, I want to say they might even like use you. What came to mind is using you as a pawn. Kind of here with 3 of Pentacles too, like using you as a tool because of the strength that you have that no one else on the team has. And I don't know if it's necessarily like a vindictive type energy toward you with Revenge, that like they're really draining you of your standout qualities in order to achieve material success for the company, for whatever it is you're doing in your career that makes you work with others. They could be sending you out, like if you are checking out like products on a merchandise floor, like whatever it is, you're attending a conference, you're needing to network with other companies, and it might be like you are their what is this? Like their pawn, their, I don't know why I'm thinking of Dark Horse. I don't know, but you were like the force that they feel like can get them that. And so they might say, hey, go, that's that big head of this company, like go talk to them, work your magic, be open and perceptive to them, bridge that gap, connect with them. We know that you can do this unlike anyone else. And so they might be really sending you off as like a tool to go and achieve that. And I see that you are successful in doing that with Knight of Swords and with Queen of Pentacles. You could be a very strong team member if you work in like a traditional career. You could be very strongly associated with making connections for your company that allows them to progress and elevate. Like you could be responsible for a certain amount of financial achievement in your company in this time, and you could be standing out in that way. as like you are your purpose is very identifiable. Like your purpose is very clear, and your strengths and your attributes are very well known across the board. And so that you are specifically chosen as a tool to progress your career, your company, your team, whatever it is, the project you're working on, you are a strong player within that, is what I see. I don't know how you feel about it. I don't think you think it's a bad thing that they kind of want you to be the face of the team in these situations and to be the warm, friendly face to bridge the gap between who you're trying to connect with and network with. I think practically you were like, I mean, they're kind of right. I know I can do this best. I don't know if this will reach a point for you where you start to become a little bit frustrated that others aren't also able to step up to the plate in that way. I'm not sure, but I think right now you're very practical about it, and you're like, it doesn't really bother or affect you to be asked to fulfill these certain expectations or to be the go-to team member to target certain connections, whatever it may be. I don't think you were viewing that as like you were being used. Yeah, it kind of teeters the line a bit. It might just have to do with your own personal perception, or I don't know if if it'll start to feel more apparent that like you are carrying the weight in your team. But for now, I think that it is very cool to see that you stand out as like a very strong, stable team member, and you are extremely valued and secure in your position because of it. Yeah, very cool. I'm going to take a drink here, and then we will proceed with the final aspect of how you stand out in life regarding your own personal development and growth, that kind of thing. So, okay. Here are the final oracle cards. The Sustainer. Yep. Okay, and then we had Assertion and Drama. I think you were very strong in your boundaries. The Sustainer did make me think of this whole theme that's been strong in the message of bridging the gap, of crossing over your energy to others. This feels like the imagery where he's kind of molding this ball. I'm not sure how malleable it is. Is it stone? Is it like Play-Doh? Whatever it may be. This is you sustaining. It starts at source with feeling connected, and then it builds out with now what you're forming between your hands is growing and shaping into something greater here with the Sustainer, and it is something that you're constantly molding and that is growing, I see here. And because of this, you might be feeling the need to set stronger boundaries. You might be easily able to recognize energy that is similar to this aspect of building something between your hands, but is completely different in the shape it takes place, the form it shows up in the world, therefore the impact it has on others, whether it is a positive, negative impact, anything in between. I'm noticing the shapes in these two cards. We have this twisty bunch here, and then this is kind of taking a similar shape to me. It seems like you could work with drama, you could work with assertion, you could work with being like a really strong, prominent force. But I don't think it's your priority to handle those type of things. Like, it's kind of just not as easy as it would be to say, no, I'm a baker, I don't need you to supply me with I only need cinnamon, nutmeg, sugar. I don't need also your chili flakes, your garlic. I don't know, this is such a weird example, but this is like, it's just not even relevant. You don't need to take any of this type of energy into your hands with assertion, with drama, with those kind of heavier aspects, more challenging things to deal with. It's not something you are interested in taking by the hand. Let's see here with final tarot cards to elaborate on what makes you stand out in your personal development. I have 3 right here. The World, oh my gosh, guys. The World, the Sun, and the 6 of Pentacles. Again, this came out in pile 1, so I really think came out in this section for pile 1 as well, so I really think you should check that out if you feel called to. The World and the Sun, extremely beautiful. This is what you're working on, expanding. You are ever expanding. You are ever abundant because of the way that you go about things and the way that you discern what energy to allow into your life. With the Sun here, it is all positive, it is all happy. Not that you ignore challenging aspects, but things that are unnecessary for you, that aren't related to you, that don't apply to you, you're not going to take because you don't need it. You are going to share generously. Again, you bridge the gap. Again, not being afraid to, like, I don't want to say it, but like, this is the image I got of like not being afraid to get down and dirty. I don't, like, if there are people who see someone who's less fortunate and they think they apply negative attributes to them, or, you know, fear-based attributes, you're not influenced by that at all, because it isn't real. You're not afraid to connect with people because these are people. There's nothing wrong with them. That's what it is. You don't put yourself above anyone ever. Instead you sit at their level, you sit with them, you meet them where they're at, you bridge the gap, and that allows them to elevate. That is your goal. You meet them where they're at and you allow them to increase, to elevate in some way, as much as they will allow you to, as much as they have the capacity to at that time. But regardless, it is important and it is extremely impactful to them, and you truly do make a big difference around people in your life because you don't subscribe to drama. You could be like, you know, you're getting called up by your friends. Where are you at? Like, it's homecoming, it's the football game. I don't know what it may be. Why aren't you here? You're like, oh, I'm actually at the food bank right now volunteering. I kind of forgot it was homecoming. And they're like, what? What? Like, it's just very strange to others, I think, sometimes. But regardless, admirable. And something I hope you continue to be your authentic self, because look how beautiful that shows up. How beautiful that energy is in your life and prominent with the Sun in the World. This is very, very encouraging to see, guys. Oh my gosh, and I totally forgot. I knew I would forget at some point, but I didn't. I meant to pull this card, which is what you chose the pile from, to represent the tarot within this last section of life. So let me pull that now. You guys just get extra cards today, that's fine. Ace of Wands. Yes. Yes. Meeting people where they are, and you could be a source of inspiration for others. You could be inspiring people, you could be helping them be confident, whatever it is. The way that when you meet others where they're at, they don't leave the same, and neither do you. And in both parties, you don't leave the same, because you do leave feeling like you've connected, feeling inspired, feeling more self-assured, feeling more confident, feeling seen, feeling supported. And this is that little spark of inspiration that you are spreading where you go, and that you also get to enjoy the fruits of that for yourself as well. You get to feel that bit of upliftment when you act in this energy toward others. So yes, proud of you guys, pile 2. This is really cool. We have 2 more tarot cards to pull. I'm going to pull one card which will represent your outward appearance. Yeah. Strong wand energy, a very vibrant, full of life, bright force where you spread that where you go. This is how you appear outwardly. I don't think, again, there is no gap between what you intend to do with how you approach people, approach relationships, approach projects. Maybe you don't have a specific intention. It's just something that you naturally, when you leave someone, they are left feeling positive in some way. And this is an energy that you spread prominently throughout your day-to-day, throughout your entire life. It's your being. You're very much a wand energy in this group here. So I want to pull a card now to show what makes you stand out in your inner world. What is the most prominent aspect of, wow, guys, the 9 of Cups. Yes, your inner reflects your outer, if not your inner shining more. Honestly, look at this. Your inner translating to your outer. With the sun, with all of this vibrant energy, 9 of Cups is being fulfilled within yourself, being self-sustained, being satisfied with your emotional achievement, with yourself, feeling abundant in your more emotional aspects of life, your fulfillment every day. How life feels to you in general is abundant and strong, and you see you're uplifted and inspired through the opportunities you have to connect. You have a strong desire and need to connect with others. It is so strong that it is definitely showing up in your outer world, translating to this a different type of energy, more targeted. This is a little bit untamed, but when it shows up and translates to your outer, you're able to work with it in a way where it is targeted with a specific purpose to uplift others and spread nothing but light throughout your days. So this is extremely beautiful, pile 2. Again, I'm so proud of you guys for showing up in this energy and being so committed to it, naturally being a light in the world, because we need that. We definitely need that all the time. So pile 2, you guys are amazing. I really hope you enjoyed your messages today. Leave a like or comment if anything jumped out at you. I would love to connect with you in that way. But regardless, I will see you in your next reading. Hey pile 3, welcome to your reading. I'm so excited to get into this for you guys. We are going to start with Oracle regarding how you stand out in your love and relationships, your connections in life. So I went ahead and drew these Oracle cards already, but I will draw tarot additionally at the time of each section to further elaborate on the different energies of how you're standing out in love and relationships, career and studies, and then personal growth and development. So let me go ahead and reveal this Oracle here. For love and relationships, we have agape or agape. I think it's agape. And then we have devotion and risk. I'm going to look up this card because I'm familiar with it, but I can't quite remember what it signifies. So I'm going to look that up real quick and I will be right back. Okay guys, I looked it up. It is pronounced agape and it means the highest form of love or charity. Agape equates to love, essentially, total love, all-consuming love. Whoever knows and experiences agape learns that nothing else in the world is important and just love. Wow, guys, that is very, very obviously significant to this aspect of your life and extremely powerful, as well as devotion is completely tying into that and affirming that as well. It is that aspect of being completely devoted and surrendering to love as your overall value and your overall purpose and intention with everything you do in life, seeing love in everything. It might even be with risk here coming through, that you stand out because people think it is risky to love so deeply, to love so intensely, to have love be the most prominent force in your life. They could take a side of like, you might be used, you might be taken advantage of if all you do is offer love. But this is just simply not even something that you feel is relevant. You consider it, of course, you understand like realistic situations where it isn't appropriate for you to completely give all you have with no discernment of whether that is appropriate or not in a situation. This is just your being exudes an energy of love and acceptance toward others, which is really, really nice to see that really all three groups today have had a really, really beautiful, strong message in the love and relationships aspect of their life. You were all some very, very loving beings, very accepting and open toward others, and you were spreading your light in that aspect across the board for the collective. This is very beautiful to see today and just encouraging. It's like we are doing something right. We are a strong force in the world, and never be ashamed of living your life with this mindset of agape. If you want to look that up and look into it more and read exactly what it is I read when I researched it, it could be valuable. It's a really, really strong, prominent energy that you were devoted to. Yes. So now I will pull some tarot to elaborate on this. Can we get about 3 cards for pile 3 to elaborate on how they stand out in love and relationships? The Moon. Okay, 2 more for pile 3. How do they stand out in their love and relationships? Connections. Here's 1. The 7 of Cups. Okay. Yeah. All right, one more for pile 3. Here it is. The 6 of Wands. Guys, so like this is very much you with risk. This is kind of like how you view things. Everything is kind of in this like cloudy state of mind is how others might view you, is like you're kind of dreamy, like you're kind of lost in the clouds, you're lost in feeling light, feeling full of love, like you're just kind of floating through the world in this like dreamlike state, especially with how the figure here is kind of like shadowed out. Like you really embodied this. People might view you as really kind of embodying and being heavily focused on this aspect of life, not focused in other areas that they think are more practical, and therefore they see an element of risk of, I don't want this person to get hurt, I don't want this person to lose sight of, yes, it is admirable, your devotion to love, to being spreading love and just going at life with an attitude of loving it, loving people, loving any situation that comes in front of you. They think it is risky because they see practically, what if your finances fall to the wayside? What if your practical relationships fall to the wayside? You're not prioritizing networking to advance your career. You're not prioritizing your studies, like whatever it may be, they feel that you're on a risky path. I don't know why it's frustrating to see that, like, because what I see here is that your love, your agape that you've embodied, is exactly what brings you success. And that, yes, there is an aspect of people think it is risky, but also there's nothing to be done about it. You are already in your success, and you are already being celebrated for this. So what is the point of focusing on worrying about the risky aspect of it? It's like if someone has achieved success, I'm seeing them being a prominent, like, social figure, celebrity, that kind of thing. Why spend time trying to convince this person, like, this is all gonna go away soon, so you need to have a plan B, you need to get things in order, or it's all gonna go away soon, so you might as well take a different approach, take a more practical, well-traveled path. But why? Why resign yourself from an energy of success, abundance? It isn't easy to achieve a state of agape and naturally live by that. Why step away from that? Why let it be short-lived when it is meant to have a longer, be prominent in your whole life, in all of your relationships? Why would you let that go, is what I'm seeing. Like, whatever you do, you continuing to live this way, it could be controversial. I'm really not sure, and there are factors involved. There are a lot of people that this message could be speaking to, and so there can be variations in how it shows up. Whatever you do, don't let anyone try to diminish the power that you have found with this value, with this way of life, with your mode of thinking. Don't let it get to your head. Don't abandon everything else you have going for you, obviously, but don't let anyone tell you that you are not living life right by spreading love. Yeah. Pile 3. Let's go ahead and pull for your career and studies here. You got an extra oracle card to come out with this. We have the comic. That's a funny picture. Okay. Wow, we have publicity. Guys, getting something. Restlessness. And innovation. I don't know what this is. The first message that came through with the comic and with publicity, it made me feel like, I don't know, are people I don't know, like rude people laughing at you for what you're doing, or thinking it's amusing to watch you go about life in this way, not even considering the fact that they could take a page out of your book. I don't know, being Six of Wands, being a public figure, being successful, being so prominent and well known for one energy can come with also people who don't like it, is kind of what I see with the comic and then with publicity. Maybe it is entertaining, maybe you have found a way to publicize these events and these situations, that you're reaching out and doing acts of kindness, you are spreading messages. You could be like spreading channeled messages. You could just be like providing informational resources for others who want to adopt this mindset and this value toward life. Like you could be posting on a blog, you could be doing a podcast, you could be posting like short informational YouTube videos, you could be trying to spread some agenda. Yeah, you really could be getting creative with trying to find a community. Maybe you're feeling restless and you're doing this to give others a tool or a jumping point to see if this is a waters that they want to dip their toes in at all. You're not being too forthcoming, you're not pushing your values and your ideas on others, but rather you are wanting to plant those seeds for whoever is interested in trying to water it. You could also be really yearning and looking for people who agree, and therefore finding a way to, it could be like collaborating forces or taking inspiration from others who have made it more of like a mission in their life to spread a certain message, words of wisdom. You could be looking to jump into a career where you are more of like an advocate. It could really be regarding anything. I don't know if you have like a specific agenda you feel driven by, but with comic and with publicity, it feels like those haters, like whenever someone is spreading the word of a good cause, it feels like there's always those people who like think it's laughable or think it's like just not relevant, which is crazy and frustrating. But that's kind of what I see. I don't know, I want to pull more tarot to expand on this. Can we get more information for pile 3 on how they stand out in their career and studies? We have the 8 of Cups. Yeah, I see you taking a less beaten path, a solo path, and you are searching for others who you can connect with and who have adopted the same mindset or who would be open to. Kind of giving like cult vibes, but trust me, it's not that. Ace of Wands, yes. And one final card, tarot card to represent pile 3, how they stand out in career and studies. Here it is. Beautiful, guys. We have the Queen of Cups. Regardless of the outcome, I think you are stepping into a stronger energy than one that is just seen by others. This could be, you know, rather than 6 of Wands, who's very apparently like a public figure, this could be going at a goal in career, in a passion project, in advocating for something, and in turn, a lot of it is pouring back into you. And this could be part of why people don't understand the point of what you're doing, is because they can never feel and experience the way that it is pouring right back into you. And if it is something near and dear to your heart that you have experience with, that you feel so inspired to change the narrative, to spread love, this is also speaking to yourself. Like, you are also advocating for yourself, and the way that you could never fail, because what you were doing is also, you are part of the audience at the end of the day that you were trying to uplift and spread love toward. You are helping to heal yourself as well. People who step into this energy of agape, I feel that it is kind of like, someone said, like, people who say that like money doesn't matter The only people who say that are people who had it at one point and they were able to release it and say it doesn't matter. People who never had it in the first place don't take that mindset of money doesn't matter. It's the level of privilege required, again, also with like, I don't know if I'm like as informed on this, but I'll just stick with that example. But what I'm trying to say is that the reason you stepped into agape is because you had a motivating force too. It's like you were beaten down so bad at one point, you experienced something traumatic, something very difficult in your life that allowed you to jump onto this path of agape. If your life was already secure, everything was smooth, everything went according to plan, you were always provided for, I don't think your perspective would be as open to adopting more of an extreme mindset. I don't know, it just feels like one extreme to another is kind of what I feel. Yeah. Finally here, we are going to dig into how you stand out in your personal development, personal growth, and ascension. So here's the oracle that I had pulled. The Pilgrim. Idealism and domination. I don't know, I feel like you have some agenda. I feel like you have a end goal, destination. I don't know, you could be chasing some ideal, you could be chasing like your own version of utopia, your own a community that is so relevant to you, and you all share a common driving force or a common past experience. You could be chasing some ideal in that sense. With the Pilgrim too, like you could be venturing out into new arenas and new ways to chase this ideal. I don't know if you're getting caught in like the end goal. I don't know if you're taking things to extreme in some way with domination. This could be a message of kind of drawing back a little bit from the extreme aspects. Let me pull tarot too to further elaborate. Let me pull the card that you chose at the beginning to represent this third aspect of life. Yeah, so 5 of Pentacles. Okay. And then 2 more. For pile 3, how they stand out in their personal development. Queen of Wands has come out in every pile today. And then 1 more. Here's this one, I feel. Page of Wands. Let's pull 1 more, I feel. One more for pile 3. Personal development and growth. I see success if you really are going after something specifically. Domination, I feel you conquering it. I feel here with you are attracting the right people toward you, toward building some community, toward leading the correct people, kind of like gathering forces, and you are really kind of establishing this drive and this goal you have in life with the Four of Wands. Like, this has become something fully realized. Maybe your advocacy is strong here. Maybe that is really coming through as like a fruitful avenue for people to tune into. Like, this is something that is being seen and picked up on by others, and regardless of what the perception is, you are still drawing the right people who do agree with it. It's kind of like a polarizing topic, it could be, and you have learned that because you are in the energy of agape, you are attracting the right forces, the right people to come toward you. You are attracting the right next moves. You are making a difference, is what I see. If you have some strong passion that you are trying to put onto the world, you are making a difference. Like, what you're doing here is going to withstand the test of time. I see him kind of like staking this wand into the ground. Like, this is something that maybe isn't meant to like have its full impact achieved in this lifetime, or but regardless, it is something that will be brought back around, and that will withstand the test of time, and that maybe the circumstances now just aren't ideal with idealism for it to fully come. Like, yes, you are finding the people who are drawn toward it, but the amount of people out there who are limited because of the time and space you are in now, where this just isn't, people haven't ascended, elevated to this level enough for you to have it be fully realized in this lifetime. Yeah, that's what I see with Page of Wands, but regardless, your footprint is here, your mark has been left. It cannot be for nothing. Living life through love, reaching out to others through love, connecting through love can never be pointless. It can only expand, regardless of how long that takes, regardless of whether you in this current physical form lifetime see it fully come to fruition. It will, and maybe you're just ahead of your time, kind of, that kind of thing. Yeah. Interesting message for you guys, pile 3. Pretty specific. I hope that I explained the specifics of it well. But to finish out today's reading, I'm going to pull 2 additional tarot cards. The first one is going to represent how you stand out outwardly to others in your extroverted sense, and then the final tarot card is going to represent how you stand out in your inner world. So let's pull for pile 3. How do they stand out outwardly to others, the light that they are seen in? Ace of Cups. Yes. And how do they stand out in their inner world? 10 of Pentacles. You have found a home within yourself. You have found safety and security within yourself, which maybe is what this whole thing is for. Maybe that is how it comes to fruition in your lifetime, is you have stabilized your inner world, whether it was like just some trauma you've worked through, you are actively working through, or just abandoning shedding a past version of yourself, and what you've grown within is secure, is abundant, is stable, and it translates to your outer of you showing up as Ace of Cups, where you don't have to show up as like the King of Cups to say that I have it all, I am perfectly happy, I am satisfied for the rest of my life, like my purpose is complete. Let me show you just how abundant I am on the inside. Rather than needing to show up as King of Cups, you're simply showing up as Ace of Cups. A simple but apparent offering toward others, a simple, attractive vibe you put off through agape that is drawing toward you the people who are meant to, and that you can learn from, and that they can learn from you. You are humble in the way that you appear toward the world. With Ace of Cups, you have kind of reined in this energy to make it just obvious and just apparent enough that those who are meant to pick up on it and who have the capacity to pick up on it and approach you, that they will get just enough information to dive deeper into it. And if you allow them to dive deeper into how this truly manifests in your life, in your inner world, and what led to it. Pile 3, I don't know what you're up to, but I think you're doing great work. It seems like it's really amazing the energy that you've adopted, seemingly in the face of adversity. I hope these messages resonated with you, and I hope that they gave you some things to think on, as well as just uplifted you. I hope that you felt uplifted and seen today. That's really, truly what I hope you received from this message. Please leave me a comment if you'd like to share or connect with me at all, as well as like the video if you resonated with these messages. Please subscribe so that I can provide you with more messages in the future, and I'm sure I will be able to provide more messages for you. So I'm looking forward to the next one, and I hope that you have an amazing day and take care of yourself.